cheese. I'm on the train now. Well, it's like a toy train, isn't it? It's taking us to the lagoons. Sounds like a family, doesn't it? The lagoons. They might end up your neighbours. Tune in 9 o'clock Friday evening on Radio 4.
La planta de producción de sal marina más grande de Europa. También podremos apreciar el paisaje de la industria salinera, constituido por diversos elementos como son las enormes montañas de sal, la laguna rosa o el canal de entrada de agua de mar conocido como el canal de la Acequión. Les informamos antes de comenzar de unas breves instrucciones de seguridad. Por favor, permanezcan sentados durante todo el trayecto. No saquen los brazos ni las piernas del trenecito y asegúrense de que las puertas están correctamente cerradas. Les recordamos que no está permitido fumar ni llevar envases de vidrio o cristal. Además, les aconsejamos no perder de vista sus objetos personales. Ahora sí, aquí comienza nuestro viaje. Prepárense para disfrutar.
Hello and welcome to the tourist train that will take you into the heart of the Salinas de Torrevieja. The tour will last approximately 1 hour. We will visit the largest sea salt production facility in Europe and also have the opportunity to observe the landscape created by the salt industry, including enormous mountains of salt, the Pink Lagoon and the Saltwater Canal, which is known as the Canal del Acequión, or Great Irrigation Canal. However, before we start, we must remind you of these brief safety instructions. Please remain seated throughout the journey. Do not extend your arms or legs outside the train, and make sure the doors are closed correctly. We would also like to remind you that smoking is forbidden. We also advise you not to lose sight of your personal belongings. Now we can start our tour, so get ready to have some fun.
Mientras nos aproximamos a las instalaciones, vamos a contarles algo de su historia. Los primeros orígenes de extracción de sal no se ubican en la laguna de Torrevieja, sino que se remontan a la laguna de la Mata. En una prospección arqueológica subacuática se descubrieron restos de lo que podría ser una factoría romana. Este importante hallazgo permite datar los comienzos de la explotación salinera, al menos en el siglo I a.C. No obstante, el documento más antiguo del que se tiene constancia en el que se citan las salinas es un privilegio de Alfonso X, fechado el 11 de enero de 1273.
Have enabled us to discover the remains of what could be a Roman salt factory. This important discovery means we can date the start of salt production to at least the 1st century BC. The oldest documented record of the Salt Lakes is a royal charter signed by King Alfonso X of Castile and dated the 11th of January 1273. He authorizes the residents of the town of Torrevieja to extract the salt for their own consumption with the Salinas de Torrevieja. This tells us that the Salinas de Torrevieja and La Mata were part of the assets of the crown, and the right to
better. I got that from the commentary, I couldn't pronounce it before.
El 55% del término municipal, lo que equivale a 2.187 campos de fútbol. El origen de las salinas se debe a una serie de movimientos geológicos que dieron lugar a la formación de dos depresiones que fueron ocupadas más tarde por las actuales lagunas de La Mata y Torrevieja.
The total area of the Salinas de Torrevieja is 2,100 hectares. Lake La Mata occupies 700 hectares, and Lake Torrevieja occupies 1,400 hectares. To give you an idea of the size of this area, the Salinas occupy 55% of the entire municipality of Torrevieja. That's the equivalent of 2,187 football pitches. The Salinas were created by a series of geological movements that produced the two depressions or sink lines that were later filled with water to create the Lake of La Mata and Torrevieja.
Las salinas de Torrevieja se ubican en el Parque Natural de las Lagunas de La Mata y Torrevieja. Este paraje de 3.743 hectáreas ha sido declarado como zona de especial protección para las aves, lugar de interés comunitario, unidad Ramsar o Red Natura 2000, entre otras. Junto con el Hondo y las salinas de Santa Pola,
so I couldn't just walk in here then.
Humedales del sur de Alicante,
Just as well I got the train.
para el desarrollo de los ciclos biológicos de numerosas especies, ya que lo utilizan tanto en sus migraciones como en su nidificación o invernada. De entre la avifauna destacan las limícolas como la cigüeñuela o el chorlitejo patinegro, las distintas gaviotas como la de Audouin o la picofina, y también el grupo de anátidas como el tarro blanco. En la laguna de la Mata además es habitual ver flamencos rosas, ya que aquí encuentran más alimento que las lagunas de Torrevieja por su menor grado de salinidad. Dentro de las especies vegetales destacan las plantas adaptadas a vivir en ambientes muy salinos, como las osas o plantas barrilleras, destacando las salicornias, sarcocornias y limón.
Las Salinas de Torrevieja are located in the National Park of Las Lagunas de la Mata and Torrevieja. This zone is also classified as an area of special protection for birds. The place is of regional interest and a wetland of international interest, as defined by the Ramsar Convention. It is also part of the Natura 2000 ecological network. Together with the National Park of El Hondo and the Salinas de Santa Pola, it completes the so-called triangle of wetlands of southern Alicante. This region plays an extremely important role in the biological cycles of many bird species. For some, it is a stop on the migratory route. Some build their nests here, and others spend their winters here. Notable species found in the Salinas include wading birds, such as stilts and clavers, seabirds such as Audouin gull and the slender-billed gull, waterfowl such as the common shell gull, and king flamingos are common sights in Lake La Mata. It is less salty than Lake Torrevieja, so there is more food for them to eat. The many plant species found in the area include some that have adapted to survive in highly saline conditions, such as the ward family and the sea lavender.
En el argot salinero, a las montañas de sal se les denomina garberas. Estas montañas pueden alcanzar una altura de 20 metros. Cuando llueve, su forma triangular facilita la evacuación del agua, formándose una costra en la superficie que impide que pase al interior de la montaña y pueda disolver la sal. Cada cono contiene un volumen medio de 15.000 toneladas y la capacidad total de la garbera es de casi 800.000 toneladas.
In the salt workers' slam, these mounds of salt are referred to as garberas, which roughly equates to the word haystack in English. These haystacks can reach a height of 20 meters. The triangular shape of the mounds helps to keep the rain out. When it rains, crust forms on the outside of the salt, and the rainwater simply runs off. Otherwise, it can penetrate into the interior of the mound and dissolve the salt. Each mound contains an average of 15,000 tons of salt. In years of an excellent harvest, the total capacity of these mounds can reach almost 800,000 tons.
A nuestra derecha podemos apreciar el complejo de la industria de la química. Se construyó entre los años 1956 a 1966 para la fabricación de subproductos derivados de las lejías concentradas. Este proyecto industrial no tuvo los resultados esperados, quedando todas las fábricas clausuradas en el año 1977. Estas naves en la actualidad están prácticamente en desuso.
The industrial complex situated on the right was built from 1956 to 1966 and was used for the manufacturing products derived from concentrated sodium. However, this industrial venture was not as successful as anticipated. All the factories were eventually closed in 1977. Today these buildings are virtually abandoned. Now we are going to enter the old chemical pools. These pools are still used for the production of exceptionally high-quality sea salt known as fleur de sel.
A continuación nos adentraremos en las antiguas balsas de la química que actualmente se utilizan para la extracción de la flor de sal. Es un producto con unas cualidades únicas debido a las características medioambientales de la laguna de Torrevieja. Su producción se realiza durante los meses más calurosos por el contraste de temperatura entre el día y la noche. En este periodo, el agua de la laguna alcanza el grado de salinidad ideal. Esto hace que se forme una fina capa sobre la superficie que se recoge manualmente antes de que el viento haga precipitar la sal al fondo de la laguna. Finalmente se almacena para dejarla secar y tras un proceso manual de retirada de impurezas, se envasa para su consumo.
Fleur de sel is created as a result of the contrast between daytime and nighttime temperatures and appears in the form of a crust on the surface of the pools. It is highly valued as it is not produced every day. Early each morning, the workers check to see if the fleur de sel has appeared, and if it has, they harvest it immediately. The process is done entirely by hand. A worker enters the pool and uses a net to collect the salt that is suspended upon the surface. The salt is placed in storage while it dries, before the impurities are removed by hand, and it is packaged ready for consumption. The resulting product is a pure organic substance that boasts an exceptional flavor.
Uno de los oficios tradicionales ligados a la industria salinera es la creación de los famosos barcos de sal típicos de nuestra ciudad. El montaje de un barco de sal se realiza artesanalmente y consiste en primer lugar en formar la estructura del barco mediante trozos de madera y recubrirla con trapo de algodón. Luego, cuando la laguna está cristalizando, se procede a lo que se conoce como el cuaje de los barcos, que consiste en introducir el barco en la salmuera para que los cristales de sal se adhieran a la estructura. Para finalizar, se introducen en unas hornas de cristal.
One of the professions traditionally connected to the salt industry is the creation of the famous salt boats. They are made entirely by hand and require a great amount of effort and skill. To make a salt boat, first you have to create the basic structure from sections of wood and cover it with a very fine layer of cotton. Once the structure has been completed, we must wait until the salt in the lake has begun to crystallize before you can set the boat by immersing it in the salty water so that the salt crystals can adhere to the frame. Once the boat is set, it is taken out of the water and placed inside a glass container.
Oh, hello. Right. Let's just discovered it's a short stop. There's two ladies from Holland who speak good English, mum and daughter. Because I was trying to get out, whilst holding the phone. This is just fantastic. Look, there is a tint. emergency. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Well, it's different. I haven't seen any flamingos. Let's have a look at this notice board. See what it says. Yeah, all the English stuff is in the middle of the narrative. You can, well, they make these out of salt, ships. That's clever, isn't it? I've seen that before. Yeah. Dried in the sun. Yeah, they keep them in a cabinet type of thing. This is great. It's 9 for those that are interested, accountants and stuff. It's €9.50. That's with a guide. It's about an hour apparently. So it's a bit like the big truck thing that I went to. There wasn't enough people. We just about had enough. As you can see, there's only about 8 of us. That's counting probably the driver and the guide. No, it's about 8 people. It's counting the kids. So there's me, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a young lad somewhere. Anyway, 7 or 8 of us, that's all. Oh, he's in the loop. Yeah, so there's 8 of us. I might as well, that's what we're here for, is to look around. So this weird contraption is, it's a salt harvester. There you go, salt harvesting by hand. The salt lake. Sadly, that's the external mic, but I'll have to do. Didn't have time to faff around with everything, so it's just me and the phone. The surroundings. I have watched previous videos of this, and there's a souvenir shop. I should be buying some of this so-called famous salt, might be other things, but it's better than buying something plastic in it that's just the same object, just with the name of the place you're visiting on it. You know, they couldn't do that with Benidorm and a piece of this bit of salt. There's quite a cloud wind here actually. It's open. Just looking to the distance now. And then close up, panoramic. And that's the normal view, etc. There is a walk. Well, as we're on the tour, it might we'll get a, I don't know, a sample of it, so we'll see where it is. There's a walk here. Probably there's many others. This is the salt part, but there's others. Maybe this, maybe you'll see the flamingos. And there's a nice path. Is that coming back for us, or do we make our way? It's got everything. Except there's no fish and chips to go with the salt. It's just disappointing, isn't it, now? Now that I think about it. I'm only joking, by the way. It's just... Oh, she's walking back. It's probably forbidden to go, and that's his job. Oh no, they're going in. Taking a little walk up there. I didn't know or think it would be that windy, because I've not actually used the external mic. on any of all the videos I've made. This is probably the one day. Anyway, it'd be alright. I think it's great. Yeah, you've got to be there. You get the idea of the space a lot more than anything on the camera or film, really. This would be an improved Doctor Who set. Usually they film in quarries or even a Bond, you know, because it photographs very well. The light is good and everything. Speed limit on this 25, is it kilometers an hour? I should think so. Yeah. Oh, I thought with all, oh, they're just gonna, oh, she's gonna do, I'll go back out then, shall I? Up close and personal. There it is. It's one of those essential elements for life. Salt. Yeah. That looks good. Bit of vandalism there. Couldn't help myself. Just pop my head round here and then we'll get back to the train. There. Nothing much to see. But there's more to come. Amazing place. It's good for everyone, isn't it? All ages, because you've got the little train and a tour guide, the shop at the end. Yeah. When the trip was an hour, I mean, must include the stopping time. Yeah. I'm not going to go up there because I don't want salt trickling into my shoes. You know. My hell-raising days are gone, you know, the drink, the womanizing, the gambling. I've heard of all these things. But yeah. Yeah, what a resource that is. And then the salt fish as well, isn't there? They used to preserve and meat and stuff. Good stuff. Right, I'm going to get on board now. Let's have a close-up view of the train, while we're here. There it is. Okay, I'm going to get in now.
Se debe a la presencia de unos pigmentos
We're on our way
una
again.
serie de bacterias muy peculiares que habitan en medios muy extremos caracterizados por la alta salinidad. Estas bacterias se denominan halobacterias. Otro organismo que contribuye a esta coloración es la Dunaliella salina. Se trata de una alga unicelular que produce un pigmento rosáceo llamado caroteno. Por último destacamos el papel de la Artemia salina.
Actually, it's
un crustáceo que al alimentarse de halobacterias y Dunaliella
some low-level properties. There's no high-rise around here, which is good.
The pink coloration of Lake Torrevieja is due to the pigmentation of certain species of very unusual bacteria that are only found in extreme environments with a very high level of salinity. They are known as halobacteria. Another organism that contributes to the unique colorization of Lake Torrevieja is Dunaliella salina, a single-celled algae that produces a pigment known as carotene. Finally, the lake is also home to our Artemia salina, a species of shrimp that feeds on the halobacteria and algae and acquires the same pink color.
¿Cómo se produce la sal? El sistema de producción de sal marina se basa en conseguir que el agua de mar, cuyo contenido en cloruro de sodio
What I was saying is that
es de 30 gramos por litro,
these low-level, like bungalows, or I do know the name, I can't think.
a partir de los cuales la sal cristaliza.
It's not a bad
Para tal finalidad se introduce
view
agua
out your window, is it? It's quite nice.
Gracias a la acción
Let's have a
combinada
property
del
here
sol se va evaporando. Y cuando alcanza los 120 gramos por litro
overlooking the
de sodio,
lagoons.
se trasvasa a la laguna de Torrevieja, continuando con su evaporación hasta que la sal cristaliza y se deposita en el fondo de la laguna. Posteriormente, cuando el espesor de la sal alcanza un mínimo de 5 centímetros, comienza su extracción, empleando para ello una máquina llamada volvedora o extractora que con ayuda de un sistema GPS recorre toda la laguna arrancando la costra de sal del fondo mediante una cuchilla para luego ir cargándola en diferentes barcas. Cada una de ellas tiene una capacidad de 7 toneladas y son arrastradas en grupos de 10 a 13 por remolcadores, formando así una unidad de navegación conocida como rache. A continuación, la sal extraída se transporta hasta una instalación situada en medio de la laguna, conocida como la isla. Allí, tras descargar las barcas, tiene lugar el primer lavado de la sal, con el que se consigue eliminar gran parte de los lodos y yesos que la acompañan. Luego, por medio de una cinta transportadora, la sal se envía hasta el lavadero ubicado en tierra firme. Aquí se procede a cribar la sal y a volverla a lavar. Este segundo lavado es más intenso que el de la isla, consiguiendo así eliminar prácticamente todas las impurezas. Por último, se procede al apilamiento de la sal, utilizando para ello un apilador de 2 alas conocido como el pájaro. Esta estructura permite la formación de 2 montones longitudinales a uno y otro lado de la cinta transportadora.
Sea salt is produced using seawater, which contains around 30 grams per liter of sodium chloride or table salt. Through solar evaporation, the salt content is increased to 300 grams per liter, at which point the salt begins to crystallize. Here, seawater is allowed to enter Lake La Mata, where the combined action of sun and wind gradually evaporates it, and the water reaches a salt content of 120 grams per liter. The water, which is now classed as chloride or water with very high salt content, is then transferred to Lake Torrevieja. At this stage, the salt crystallizes and is deposited on the bottom of the and uses a rake to dig up the salt crust from the bottom. The extracted salt is loaded onto numerous barges. Each barge can hold 7 tons of salt. They are dragged along in groups of 10 to 13 by tugboats. Together, the salt barges and tugboats form a unit known as the Rachi. The salt is then transported to a place called the island, which is a special facility located in the middle of the lake. Here, the barges are unloaded and the salt is washed for the first time, which removes most of the mud and stones that are mixed up with it. After the first wash, the salt is transported by a conveyor belt to another washer, this time located on dry land. The salt is sieved and washed again. The second wash is more intense than the first and virtually eliminates all of the impurities. Finally, the salt is piled up into mounds using a 2-sided stacking machine nicknamed the bird. This structure allows 2 long mounds to be created either side of the conveyor belt.
Antes de abandonar las instalaciones, haremos una parada en nuestra tienda. En ella podrán adquirir distintas variedades de sal, refrescos, souvenirs y productos típicos de las salinas como la flor de sal o los famosos barcos artesanales de Torrevieja.
Before leaving the premises, we will make a stop at the store, where you can purchase different varieties of salt, soft drinks, souvenirs, and typical products of our salinas, such as the salt flour or the famous craft boats of Torrevieja.
Right, we're off to the souvenir shop. I'm actually going to buy something. Oh, it's not one you can go in. Oh. What I'll do is I'll stop and I'll show whatever it is I buy.